The girl is sent back to August 1st every time she dies and is revived again. What kind of secret lies behind all of this? The heroine opens her eyes. She glances at the calendar. Today is August 4th. She looks around. She realizes she has no recollection of this place. Just then, a spirit named Orion appears. Orion tells her that when he first arrived in this world, he accidentally collided with her spirit, which unexpectedly caused her to lose her memory. What's more, he himself became trapped inside her mind. Orion suggests that she visit familiar places to help recover her memories. From Orion, she learns that she's currently working part-time at a restaurant, so she decides to go to work as usual, hoping to regain her memory through her daily routine. However, she keeps making mistakes on the job. Eventually, thanks to the patient guidance of the handsome Icky and Kent, she quickly adjusts to the work environment. But on her way home after work, she's confronted and threatened by a group of girls. They accuse her of breaking a promise. It turns out these girls are all crazy fans of Icky. Under their hostility and pressure, the heroine suddenly recalls a memory fragment of them cutting her hair on purpose. Overwhelmed by fear, she faints on the spot. When she regains consciousness, the girls are gone, but she's left confused about what they meant by breaking a promise and calling her a traitor. No matter how hard she thinks, she can't understand it. Orion warns her not to tell anyone about her memory loss. The next day at work, two co-workers enthusiastically discuss details of an upcoming trip. Only then does the heroine realize that she had previously agreed to go on a trip with them. At that moment, she suddenly remembers her childhood friend Shin once said something about murder while crossing the street. She's so lost in thought that she almost gets hit by a car. Luckily, a mysterious green-haired man pulls her back just in time. On August 8th, the group sets off on the trip. During the trip, Shin keeps sneaking glances at the heroine. Meanwhile, she listens to the sound of the rain and recalls fragmented memories of going to a festival with the others. She seizes a chance to bring up the topic in conversation, but finds out that Kent never went to a festival with her. That night, the group follows their itinerary and heads to the mountaintop to watch the meteor shower. The heroine walks at the back of the group. Shin tries to reach out and hold her hand, but she instinctively pushes him away, worried that her memory loss might be exposed. And remembering Shin's earlier words about having killed someone, she becomes terrified and takes off running. At that moment, Yukio picks up the flashlight she dropped and reveals a meaningful, unsettling smile. Just then, as the heroine flees, she accidentally falls off a cliff. When she opens her eyes again, she finds herself lying in a hospital bed. To her shock, time has somehow jumped back to August 1st. But that's not the only strange thing. Shin enters the hospital room and suddenly kisses her. Even more bewildering, Shin has a key to her house. The heroine grows even more confused. She calls out for Orion, but there's no response. She begins to wonder if she's dreaming. The next day, Shin comes to see her early in the morning. He says that today marks their 1-year anniversary as a couple. The heroine is stunned, but pretends she forgot. However, Shin immediately sees through her lie and realizes she's lost her memory. In truth, the two of them had only been officially dating for a little over 3 months, because Shin had noticed something strange about her lately. He deliberately brought up the anniversary to test her. Now that he knows she's lost her memory, Shin becomes deeply concerned. He wants to help her recover it, so he takes her to visit some of the places they had been to together. But the heroine doesn't remember any of it. When they return home, the heroine writes everything that has happened in the last couple of days into her diary. The next day, the heroine returns to the restaurant to continue working. She's shocked to discover that Icky and Kent have never worked there before. Not only that, but they both deny ever going up the mountain during the trip. But the heroine clearly remembers everyone climbing the mountain to watch the meteor shower. While Shin is picking her up after work, the heroine asks him about that day on the mountain. Shin doesn't say much. Instead, he takes her to the mountain. There, he reenacts what happened that day for her. He explains that he only wanted to express his feelings of love, but he accidentally scared her, which led to her running away and falling off the mountain. Shin promises that from now on, he'll do his best to help her recover her memory. Then he murmurs that his father once killed someone. Only then does the heroine realize it had all been a misunderstanding. On her way home, walking alone, a truck suddenly speeds toward her. It hits her directly, killing her on the spot. The scene shifts. The heroine wakes up in her bed at home. She discovers that time has once again reset to August 1st, and all the diary entries she had written are completely gone. Just then, Icky calls her. He invites her to go see a movie together. While watching the movie, Icky's behavior toward her is unusually affectionate. as if they were a couple. Every time the heroine encounters a fatal incident, time always resets back to August 1st, and the people and situations around her change with each loop. Even the way people treat her shifts completely. All of this deeply troubles the heroine. To make matters worse, she receives a strange text message demanding a daily report. While working, the heroine notices that whenever girls make eye contact with Icky, they instantly become infatuated with him. After work that evening, Icky sees that she's distracted, so he suddenly kisses her. The heroine instinctively resists Icky's unexpected move, but Icky doesn't get angry. Instead, he quietly murmurs, "Just one more month." Her phone rings. The heroine receives the same text asking for a daily report again. A week later, Sawa sees Icky constantly surrounded by girls. She can't help but warn the heroine. She tells her that Icky is a well-known playboy. He dates every girl for exactly 3 months before dumping them. However, the heroine doesn't take her words to heart. After all, Icky has always treated her with kindness. That night, the two of them sit quietly under the stars. Icky tells her a secret. When he was a child, he once made a wish upon a shooting star. He wished to be popular with girls. To his surprise, that silly wish actually came true. Now, whenever girls make eye contact with him, they instantly become drawn to him. But the strange part is, after exactly 3 months of dating, the girls always leave him for no apparent reason. Icky believes this is the price he pays for that wish, so he decided to only date girls for 3 months at a time. That is, until he met the heroine. As another shooting star streaks across the sky, Icky makes a wish to make the heroine fall in love with him. With that, the heroine's misunderstanding about Icky is finally resolved. Late at night, Icky's fangirls called the heroine out to confront her. They scolded her for breaking their agreement, and for failing to submit her daily reports. It was then that the heroine realized those mysterious messages were from them. It turned out the girls had made a pact. Icky belonged to all of them. Each girl could date him for exactly 3 months in turns, but under one condition: they had to submit daily reports about their interactions. The heroine couldn't help but protest. Her words enraged the girls. They shoved her into a small boat, but the old boat cracked upon impact. Within less than a minute, water poured in rapidly. The heroine was thrown into the lake. When she woke up again, time had once more reset to August 1st. Her diary entries had disappeared once again. This time, her boyfriend was Kent, but Kent was quiet and reserved. He struggled to express himself, and everything he did seemed rigid and overly proper. A few days later, the heroine suddenly remembered that Kent liked to see her in a kimono, so she invited him to visit the summer festival with her in traditional attire. They had a relatively pleasant day together, but the heroine always felt like she had been to this place with Kent before. During these days of dating, Kent started noticing something strange about her. He began to suspect that she had lost her memory. At Orion's suggestion, the heroine finally told Kent everything she had experienced. In the end, Kent came to a conclusion. She was reviving in a parallel world each time she died. That's why every world seemed so similar. Yet with subtle differences, even the heroine's own personality would shift between worlds. But with no memory, the heroine couldn't be sure if she was in her original world anymore. The next day, while the heroine and Kent were out shopping, the traffic lights suddenly turned green. A speeding car came out of nowhere and struck her. On the street, Toma caught the heroine just as she was nearly hit. She fainted from the shock, but she didn't realize she had once again crossed into a new parallel world. Not until she noticed the digital clock on the doctor's desk. It displayed the date, August 1st. Toma took careful care of her daily needs. When he saw her phone was broken, he immediately bought her a new one. While looking around the room, the heroine discovered that the version of herself in this world also kept a diary. On the nearby calendar, August 10th was marked. She had a scheduled meeting with Icky in a back alley. The next morning, while collecting the mail, the heroine found the mailbox stuffed with trash. To avoid worrying Toma, she chose to keep it to herself. Wanting her to rest and recover, Toma brought her to the restaurant where she worked to ask for time off. When Icky saw her, he quietly asked, "How is Phase 1 going?" As she left the restaurant, the heroine was attacked by a stranger. Toma protected her and took her back to his home. He firmly told her not to go out alone, but the heroine didn't listen. When she went out to buy personal items, she was attacked by Yukio. Thankfully, Toma arrived in time and saved her. Out of concern for her safety, Toma insisted she keep staying at his house. While they were out shopping for daily necessities, Toma stepped away briefly. In that short time, Icky's fangirls maliciously cut her hair. Toma blamed himself for being careless and, secretly vowed to protect her at all costs. The heroine began to wonder, were all these cruel incidents really done by Icky's fans? Soon, August 10th arrived. The heroine remembered her meeting with Icky. She decided to go and uncover the truth, but Toma firmly refused to let her go out alone. As a result, the heroine missed the appointment. From that moment on, she began to feel unusually sleepy all the time. Her reactions grew increasingly sluggish. Orion suspected that Toma had been drugging her food, so the heroine secretly poured out her coffee while pretending to drink it. That night, after Toma fell asleep, she planned to escape quietly, but then she heard a phone ring on the table. She was shocked to discover her original phone was never broken at all. It had been hidden, and it was filled with harassment and threatening messages. Just then, the doorbell rang. The heroine quickly lay back down and pretended to sleep. The visitor was Shin. He confronted Toma. "You're not even her boyfriend. Why are you keeping the heroine locked up in your house?" The heroine was shocked. Toma had been lying to her from the very beginning. With no other choice, Toma took Shin outside to negotiate. After Shin left, Toma forcefully shoved a sleeping pill into the heroine's mouth. When she woke up, she found herself locked inside a cage. Toma believed this was the only way to truly protect her. It turned out that ever since the heroine fainted on August 1st, Toma had noticed she was being harassed. Seeing that she had lost her memory, he lied and told her the phone was broken, then pretended to be her boyfriend, all to keep her away from Icky and the dangers surrounding him. After explaining everything, Toma locked the heroine in the cage, but then he got a call from school and had to leave in a hurry. In his rush, he forgot to lock the cage. The heroine understood that Toma's twisted actions came from a desire to protect her. She decided to take this chance to return home and read her diary, to figure out how she really felt about Toma. After reading the diary, the heroine discovered the person she loved was indeed Toma. At that moment, Toma came rushing in. He was furious that she had left the house alone. But then, the diary slipped from her hands. Catching his attention, the heroine asked Toma to read it with her, so he could understand they had loved each other since they were kids. And that August 1st was the day she had planned to confess her feelings. Toma was overwhelmed with regret. The heroine, ever understanding, forgave him, but that very night, while she was asleep, the green-haired man, Yukio, carried her to the rooftop and threw her to her death. Suddenly, the scene shifted. The heroine found herself surrounded by flames. In the nick of time, Yukio rescued her. When she regained consciousness, she was back on August 1st once again. This time, she decided to follow the schedule marked on the calendar to better understand this world. But along the way, she ran into Yukio. He warned her, under no circumstances should she go to school today. Soon after, the university building exploded, but the disasters didn't stop there. As she passed by a construction site, a steel pipe fell from above. Yukio rushed in and saved her just in time. Over the next week, Yukio told her every day where danger would strike. Strangely, accidents occurred in each of those exact places. Orion was baffled. Could Yukio really see the future? The next day, they ran into each other at the cafe. Yukio offered to walk her home. He seriously warned her, from now until August 25th, she would face countless life-threatening dangers. As for the reason, he couldn't say. All these signs made Orion suspect. Yukio, like the heroine, was someone traveling between parallel worlds. That suspicion was soon confirmed. Yukio's strange behavior was due to his split personality. His primary self was gentle, kind, and deeply in love with the heroine, but his alternate self was cruel and wanted her dead. What the heroine didn't know was, at night, the dark side of Yukio would take control of his body. A few days later, Yukio asked the heroine to meet him at the shrine. Saying it was urgent, the heroine went without hesitation, only to be dragged to an old well. Yukio revealed that he had once fallen into that very well and died. All the disasters he predicted were things he had personally experienced. His dark self wanted the heroine to suffer the same fate, but at the critical moment, Yukio harmed himself to regain control and saved her. After this incident, Yukio realized they could no longer meet. From then on, he warned her of danger through text messages. Following his instructions, the heroine survived until August 24th. On the eve of the 25th, Yukio called her. He told her, under no circumstances should she leave the house before the 26th. His voice was filled with sadness, like a final farewell. After hanging up, Yukio threw his phone into the sea. On August 25th, a violent storm raged. At 10:30 that night, the heroine received a text from Yukio. "I'm going to end my life at the university where we met." The heroine knew it might be a trap, but she still chose to go find Yukio. Braving the rain, she rushed to the school building. There, Yukio pulled out a knife and tried to kill her. There were only 30 minutes left before the 25th ended. The heroine ran for her life, desperately trying to escape Yukio, but all the doors were locked. Just as she was about to lose hope, a loud crash jolted Yukio's original personality awake. Seizing the moment, Yukio revealed the whole truth. He had, in fact, been traveling across countless parallel worlds just like the heroine, but this was his original world. On August 1st, the heroine had fallen unconscious in an explosion and officially died on the 25th. As her lover, Yukio couldn't accept her death, so he made a wish to the Spirit King, Neil, and was granted the ability to travel between worlds. From that moment on, he journeyed through endless realities, searching for the heroine, but tragically, in all those alternate timelines where she was still alive, Yukio did not exist. He had to forcibly insert himself into her worlds. However, every parallel world had its own laws, rules that corrected history and rejected foreign anomalies. As a result, Yukio was repeatedly erased by the world itself. After dying again and again, a second personality formed within him. This darker self believed all of Yukio's suffering stemmed from the heroine, and so it vowed to kill her no matter what. At that moment, Yukio's dark personality once again seized control and chased after the heroine with murderous intent. But in a final moment of clarity, Yukio regained control and plunged the knife into his own chest. This time, it was likely the end, but he had no regrets, because he had finally met her in this world. As the clock struck midnight, the heroine was transported to the realm of the Spirit King, Neil. There, Orion greeted her. He told her that Neil had decided to restore her memories and return her to her original world. Before leaving, the heroine thanked Orion. "Whenever I was alone and afraid, you were the one who stood by me." With Orion's blessing, she walked toward the world where she truly belonged. In the end, the story never revealed which world she came from, but those she met through the cycle of reincarnation had already become unforgettable parts of her life.